And I like to go up there and visit him every so often. And I go to Portland and Vancouver, and I go record digging. Hello, VC. Plastic Eric here, Plastic Soundwave Call. Here to do a tag, the Synth-pop tag, started by JorgenS, a gentleman out in Sweden that has a YouTube channel that I knew he was on Rachel's streams, but I didn't realize that he made videos, and then I recently found out he does make videos as well, so I've been catching up on his videos slowly but surely. So thank you, JorgenS, for this tag. And if you look down in the description, then you will find a link to his channel, and at the end of this video you'll find a link to his channel, and you'll find some cats in this channel too. So in order to save time, and I got a lot of stuff I've got to get done and take care of, I'm going to make this quick and dirty. And so we're going to do these questions here. Your first question is an album that got you into synth pop. Well, it wasn't an album per se. It was Top of the Pops. I lived in England in 1978 to 1984, and I used to watch Top of the Pops, and that was just crawling with synth pop bands. One of the earliest that I remember is this one here. The songs from Depeche Mode. This is Catching Up with Depeche Mode. So it's the album that I listened to from a friend originally, and I was like, oh, I remember all those songs when I lived in England, and that started getting me more back into listening to synth pop, because for a while there, I just listened to hard rock. I didn't listen to any of this kind of stuff. But when I left England, I missed listening to this kind of music. And so I had a friend who had this on tape, and we used to listen to it all the time. And eventually I did get it on CD. Of course, there's a fight going on. So the first synth pop that I bought, and I would consider this, even though they came out of the post-punk movement, the first synth pop that I bought was New Order's Low Life. I heard the first couple of songs off of this, even though they have some post-punk sound and stuff on here. This is where they really start getting into their dancey synthesizer type sound, even, you know, that they're building off of from Blue Monday. And so this is the actual tape that I bought when this, not when it came out, but not too long after it. And so I bought this when it was still fairly new. And so yeah, this is an original tape from New Order, Low Life. So that was my first one that I bought. All right, an album that you have bought recently. Well, this is the most recent synth pop that I bought. Roosevelt. I've shown this a couple times now. It's a young guy out of Germany, and I think, Jorgen, you would like this because it has certain elements in it, like Erasure, Depeche Mode, like Foster the People, that kind of sound to it, and it almost harkens back to like 70s, 80s disco. Fantastic album. Nice, easy, catchy tunes to listen to. The only bummer is like he doesn't really do like 12-inch singles or, you know, like extended versions, which I think on his latest album he might have started doing, but on this one he didn't really do that. But this band here, Roosevelt, is absolutely fantastic. Show a synth pop 45 or 12-inch single. Well, I have a 12-inch single of The Infected. It's got the got the track listing on the inside. So this has on side one, it has the extended mix of Infected, the Skull Crusher mix, and then the Energy mix. So I don't know which one of these ended up on the album, but this one here, the extended mix of this song, is absolutely fantastic. I don't own any other the. I've heard some of their other songs and I do like them, but this is by far my favorite, and I had to get it when I found it at Amoeba Records. Okay, the next one was a little bit tougher. Show a live synth-pop album. Well, I don't have a full album, but I do have Natural History, the very best of Talk Talk. Oops, here I'm covering up the name of the album there. This album here has 2 songs on it. Life is What You Make It from The Color of Spring, live at the Hammersmith Odeon. And it also has Tomorrow Started live at the Hammersmith Odeon. And so those are 2, I would consider Talk Talk a synth pop band. Especially their earlier stuff. It really expanded and experimented later on, which you do get a little smattering of on this album. Show a Kraftwerk album. No, because I don't have any Kraftwerk. So I did pick a synth pop to its extreme, industrial, KMFDM. Extort, starts with a K. I'm sure it's inspired by Kraftwerk in some way. I don't know if you understand what the letters mean in the band's name, but there's a touch of irony, especially when it comes to the next question. So don't have any Kraftwerk, but I'll pick a K album, KMFDM. Extort. Show a Depeche Mode album. One of my favorites, Black Celebration. I don't see this one get talked about that much. This one has some of my favorite stuff by them. I like the version of Fly on the Windscreen, on this version of it that comes on here. Sometimes is a good song. But I really love Stripped. Stripped is one of my favorite Depeche Mode songs. I love how it kicks in with the little, you know, I tend to think of like an old Model A Ford truck starting up when that song begins, and just the way that it goes from that basic, you know, beat and then just goes into, and that song just layers and layers and layers. Definitely one of my favorite Depeche Mode songs. Dressed in Black, New Dress, Here Is the House, But Not Tonight. I mean, this album has some kick-ass songs on it. And yeah, I originally had it on tape, lost the tape, and now I do have it on CD. So, Depeche Mode, Black Celebration. Okay, show a 70s synth pop band or artist. That was a tough one. But I think I kind of got it with this one. Sweet, Level Headed. Before this, Sweet was known as a glam rock band. Definitely heavy with guitars. They still have guitars on this album here, but they definitely have a lot more keyboards. And I believe the guy's name is Jeff Wheatley. But the unofficial member of the band at this time was Jeff Wesley. And Jeff Wesley really added a lot of keyboards and synthesizers to this album. I mean, it has Love Is Like Oxygen, which is very, very synthy. And, I mean, these guys are pop. So, to me, this would still fall under synth pop. Huge change that these guys made from their early 70s sound to their later 70s sound. And so, yeah, 70s synth pop, Sweet, Level Headed. So now it's time to show an 80s synth band. Well, that should be pretty easy because you got a lot to choose from. And sticking in a similar vein, Yaz. I know it's Yazoo in England, and it was Yazoo in England when I lived over there. So it took me a bit longer to remember that it was Yazoo instead of Yaz. But Upstairs at Eric. And just because my name is Eric, it doesn't make me super partial to this CD, but it's just awesome. Don't Go to Pieces. Bad Connection, I think, is my favorite song from them. A lot of people don't like I before E except after C. I think that is their Revolution 9 for this album. I think it's fantastic. Very spacious. I like it when people experiment with sounds. And like Revolution 9, I feel that song is that way. In My Room, Only You, Goodbye 70s, Situation, which I believe was added on to the American version on the CD years later. I don't think Situation was on the original album, but I could be wrong, I could be right, I don't know. But yeah, I think one of the finest examples of 80s synth pop, Yaz. Upstairs at Eric's. Okay, number 10. Show a 90s synth pop album. Here's one from the late 90s. I know it starts getting more into EDM territory and raves and things like that, but I still consider it synth pop. The Crystal Method, Vegas. This album is so good. Trip Like I Do It has one of the most brilliant intros. Same thing with High Roller. Coming Back, Keep Hope Alive, which I believe ended up being a TV series theme for like Chicago Hope or something weird like that. She's My Pusher, Jaded. These songs are absolutely fantastic. Really like the Crystal Method, especially this album, the next album, and Born Too Slow, I think it was what it's called, is not bad either. But it's not nearly as good as this one and the next album after this, which was Tweekend. Okay, at this point, I'm going to go ahead and cut it off here because I have got one hell of a week that I got to get stuff done. My daughter's graduating. I got to finish painting the house. I got to take a ton of stuff to the dump. I got to get ready for my trip up to Portland. I got a lot going on. So in order to get this part in today, I'm going to get it in today. And then next Friday will be part 2 of the synth tag, just so I can keep the video short. So until part 2, bye. It ain't just about the music.